Okay, I thought I would cover a few more details about this 75 Musicmaster to Duosonic conversion that we did here. First of all, I'd like to give thanks to my buddy Dennis Galuska at Fender, who was gracious enough to help me with the routing for the second pickup. The 75 Musicmaster normally only came with a neck pickup, and since Fender had discontinued the Duosonic sometime in about 1969, they no longer routed the bodies for the bridge pickup, which on the older Musicmasters you would find a route for the second pickup under the pickguard. Since it wasn't there on this guitar, and again, since I'm not particularly good at woodworking, I asked Dennis if he would give me a hand with that, and he did. So that's how we got the second pickup route done, and the routing for the actual switching, which is another thing that the standard 75 Musicmaster would not have. The other thing that we did to this guitar is to apply a set of compensated brass saddles. And I'm going to zoom in on that here hopefully and get you a shot of that, assuming I can get this in focus. And the reason for that is just to increase the intonation accuracy of the guitar. On a standard Duosonic or Musicmaster, the saddles are just a single piece, 3 single pieces that go across. Each string shares 2 saddles. Unfortunately, that makes it very difficult to get the intonation set up correctly for the guitar. With the compensated saddles, they're slightly offset for each pair of strings, which allows you to get the intonation much, much closer. The pickups that we have in this guitar are Abigail Ibarra wound custom shops, very, very nice sounding single coil units, typical classic Fender twang, good warmth, good body to them, a lot of good punch, definitely good definition, great sounding pickups. The neck for this guitar is another bit of a story here. Originally this had the stock 75 neck on it, which seemed like an A-width neck, which would be 1.5 inches wide. It was a little too narrow for my hands. I prefer a shallow neck from front to back, from the fingerboard to the back of the neck, but I don't like to have it too narrow from side to side across the width of the fingerboard. I find it's very hard for my stubby little fingers to get in there on individual strings, so I prefer a B-width neck, which is just a little bit wider at 1 5/8 if I recall correctly. So looked around a few different necks. I picked up a 65 vintage neck, which had the correct width, and it was absolutely gorgeous, but it was just too U-shaped in terms of the neck profile for my hands. I had a little bit too much girth in what I call the shoulders of the neck, which would be this area right in through here, this part of the neck, and what I call the shoulder of the neck was just a little bit too thick through there. And I prefer more of a C-shaped profile, and so I found this 94 made in Japan neck. It's a Mustang neck, as you can see at the headstock. It says Mustang on it. Well, this is a guitar with an identity crisis, because it is now a 75 Musicmaster body with a 1994 made in Japan Mustang neck, and as you can see, it is a Duosonic in all but name. So I don't really particularly care what it says on the headstock as long as it says Fender, because that's basically what this guitar is. It is a Fender, even with the modifications and the changes that have been made to it. Other than the finish, which was done here, pretty much everything else on this guitar is either Fender USA or Fender Japan, so it should say Fender on the headstock. And I am real tickled with the neck. I did have to put new tuners on it, and they're just stock Fender tuners. I relic them very, very slightly to kind of match with the rest of the guitar. As you can see, the headstock on this is not in the greatest of shape. It does have some dings and dents and so forth, and I wanted to not have the tuner stand out too much, but I didn't go hog wild with it. I didn't use muriatic acid or anything of that nature. I used a little bit of vinegar and a few other methods that I will keep to myself for the time being, but it seemed to work pretty well. All in all, I am extremely happy with the way the guitar turned out. The paint is nitrocellulose lacquer from Guitar Re-Ranch, and I'm very, very pleased with how easy it was to apply. I did not really have a booth. I did most of the finishing outside. All of the buffing was done by hand, not with any machines or anything. I started with a 800 grade 800 grit sandpaper and worked my way all the way up to 2000, and then after that I used a product called Finesse It to do the final polishing, and I did it very, very quickly after finishing the painting. I probably did it way too soon, and the paint will eventually soak into the body a little bit more and look pretty kind of gnarly, which I kind of want. Again, the guitar was thrashed when I got it, so I'm trying to not make things too pretty here. On the other hand, I'm not trying to turn it into an unintended relic. I'm not taking keys to the face of it and bashing it or anything like that. That'll happen in time, and it'll get dinged and worn and stuff just in the process of using it. I just wanted something on the guitar that would make it look a little bit better in a color that I really liked, and that would protect the wood. When I got the guitar, it was basically bare wood and in really bad shape. So anything's an improvement, and it's actually quite a bit more of an improvement than I really had any right to expect. So there's the guitar. It is done. I am happy, and hope you enjoyed this. Check out the websites at www.harmonycentral.com. If you look for my name, Phil O'Keefe, either on the effects forum, there's a thread entitled "And So It Begins" that covers this guitar. You can also stop by my recording forum if you have any recording questions. The guitar-centric stuff is usually over on the effects forum, which I also moderate, and hope to see you there. Have a great day.